We're here in St. Louis at the Legacy Open. I'm Glenn Jones, your event coverage coordinator, with Chris Anderson.
Hello, everybody.
You might remember Chris from a recent Legacy Open in Detroit where he top 4'd with Elves. Really well known for playing Elves, obviously.
Yep, mostly, like I've probably played Elves in the last, every tournament for the last year with one exception, I think.
The Invitational, right?
No, I guess I did play Dredge in the Invitational,
okay.
And then in the Open on Sunday, I played Elves again because I went 2-5 in the Invitational with Dredge, and then I ran the table in the Swiss with Elves. So.
Awesome. But today, we again left our little green men to play Stoneblade.
Yeah, and I don't think Elves is bad. I'll probably play it again next week. I was just bored. I wanted to play something different. I wanted to play with Cabal Therapy again. That card's awesome.
Cabal Therapy is a sweet one.
Yep.
This is a mostly conventional Stoneblade list. You have a few differences
for the most part. Yeah, the shell is almost exactly the same as Brent Friedman's deck from the Grand Prix. He came in 12th place, and he's pretty good at this deck, so I went with that.
The first difference I noted, we have 2 Riptide Laboratories. A lot of people play 1 or 0, but you've got 2.
Correct. And Ben's deck had 1 and a Dust Bowl. I honestly don't know which is better. If it's 2 labs, 1 lab, 0 labs, but the way I saw it was that Riptide Lab is one of your engines. Once you get to the late game, like you're stalling off a bit in the early game, and then once you get into the late game, you can either, like, Jace is obviously your best engine, but after Jace, like bouncing Snapcaster Mage with Riptide Laboratory is really solid too. The thing with Dust Bowl is though that you're sacrificing your lands when you Dust Bowl them, and you want to have a lot of lands out in the late game. I think so. It might just not matter because they don't have any lands, but if they've got a reasonable amount of basics, then that's not a very effective plan.
Sure. So. Also, you're not running the Crucible, which makes the Dust Bowl a little stronger.
That's true. Although I think at that point, wouldn't you just rather have Wasteland? I don't honestly know. I mean, Dust Bowl's certainly better on its own.
We have Engineered Explosives ×3 also, which is another card not a lot of people are playing.
Right. Ben Friedman had 2 Engineered Explosives in his main and 1 in his side. I talked to him last night. He told me play 4 Engineered Explosives for sure. Like, he firmly believes Engineered Explosives is the future of this deck. It just answers so many things, from like Nimble Mongoose to like Goblin tokens out of Charbelcher. Like, it's really good against Elves. It basically just answers almost anything you need it to. So
sure. And the fact that you went with Esper Stoneblade.
Yeah, and there's an Academy Roads on the sideboard too, which is another late game engine that you can do. You just like rebuy Engineered Explosives over and over again and reduce them to no permanence.
Sure. So for the Disruption package, you said you wanted to play with Cabal Therapy. You found them for 1 in the main deck.
Correct.
And you split the Thoughtseizes and Inquisition of Kozilek's 3-1 then? After that?
Yeah, Ben played 3 Thoughtseizes and 1 Inquisition. So I just stuck with that. It seemed right. And then he had a 3rd Spell Pierce, but he told me to run 2 and 2. And he was kind of busy at the time, so I didn't get to inquire further on what should be put in the main over the Spell Pierce. So it's just like, I'll just swap with Cabal Therapy. I like playing Cabal Therapy. That's fun. So, and it can't be bad. Like, even if I don't have very many good hits with it, like, I can just snipe it, and it plays well with the Thoughtseizes and the Inquisition also. So.
Do you have much experience playing like Stoneblade style decks in Legacy? Really?
In Legacy, no. I did not do well today. I went 0-2 and 0-4. The deck is very good, even if I didn't do well with it, so it's a good choice for a deck tech. The last time I played Stoneforge, I also went 0-2, 0-4. So maybe that's saying something, I don't know. I got paired to Affinity in 2 of those matches, though, and I think that matchup's abysmal. And then the other 2 matchups, I got paired to Sam Kuperwitz and Adam Prozac, who are both probably a lot better than me in the Blue Mirrors, because I don't really know what I'm doing, and they're masters, so I don't know. I think it's a good choice, though.
Let's look at the sideboard a little bit real quick. I noticed, did Ben have Meekstones, or did you bring those
He did not.
Yourself?
I brought them over myself. I've been playing Meekstone and Elves for a while. I think it's fantastic at beating Rug Delver with the right decks. Some decks, you don't want the Meekstones because what Rug Delver does, you don't, like, it stops Rug Delver when their game plan is attack you with a bunch of creatures early and like back it up, but if Rug Delver ever tries to play a long game, it's not nearly as good. Yeah. Also, if you've got 3 powered creatures of your own, or 3 or more powered creatures of your own, they're really rough. But in a lot of decks, like Elves for example, in in this deck, the only creature that's bigger than 3 is a Vigilance creature, so you don't care about that. And I played a lot of games last night with Justin and Paul. He's playing Rug Delver, obviously, and basically it seemed like that was the game plan for Rug Delver in this matchup.
Sure.
Also. Stick some threats early, disrupt you enough to just get you down to 0 before you can stabilize. So Meekstone's fantastic at dealing with that game plan from Rug Delver. And I think a lot more decks should be adapting Meekstones. It's just a good, strong card.
Sure. The last card I want to talk about is you've got the Lingering Souls, which made headlines at GP Indianapolis in the main deck of Tom Martell's deck. They're in the sideboard here.
Right.
What decks do you think they deserve to come in against?
Mostly just like non-combo decks, I think. Definitely against Rug Delver. I think against Maverick, like, it's just a really strong engine. The Cabal Therapy, Lingering Souls, Intuition engine, it's just a lot of card advantage, and it just buys you a lot of time, and you need to also just make a bunch of chump blockers. So mostly against non-combo decks, I'd say.
All right, well, there we go, guys. A look at Esper Stoneblade, post-GP Atlanta. From Chris Anderson, and by proxy, Ben Friedman. So thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
Back with more Legacy.
Thanks, everybody.